The 902nd edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get up to $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 902 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to plant-based on YouTube, who is giving LFA a try this week, thanks to us. So thanks for tuning in, plant-based, and LFA should be actually thanking us because maybe we're creating a new fan for them. I'm still Uncultured Swine, Jeff Fox. I feel like maybe it should be the Uncultured Swine. With me, as always, Daniel Gumby Vreeland. It's been a while, but we're back. Seems like usually we record every day, but we haven't recorded for a while. We got a Fury episode going down today. We haven't covered Fury for a little bit either. So Fury FC 109 is today. UFC Paris prelims tomorrow. And then that would bring us to Thursday, UFC Paris main card. And as a bonus, Dana White Contender Series week 4. So there you go. Now you're all set.
We're already on 4.
Week 5, right.
And did you happen to see the changes to week 5? It's monumental for our podcast.
Let me think. I haven't done anything for weeks. So yeah, because week 4 hasn't even happened yet as of this recording. So no, I haven't even looked at week 5 yet.
So week 5 just had a big switch. Anthony Guaracio was supposed to fight Guilherme Pat in a heavyweight bout on that. Guilherme Pat.
Oh yes.
Could not get a visa out of Brazil, and friend of the show, Stephen Asplund is filling in his place now. So we actually have Stephen Asplund versus Anthony Guaracio, two guys who have given me absolutely phenomenal interviews all the time. And it is going to be a very fun fight.
What do you think of the matchup, Gumby?
Quickly. So a quick thought, it's an interesting stylistic matchup because for those of you who don't know, Guaracio, big puncher, guy who I've knocked him for winding up too much in the past and he proved me wrong on it once. But he's got big power punches. And Stephen Asplund, almost the exact opposite. Like a guy who, if he gets a TKO, it's like volume over anything else. It's volume and pace and stuff like that. So we're going to see, can Asplund take the big punch? Can Guaracio deal with the pace? It is going to be, whatever it is, it's going to be wild and violent, though.
Yep. So that is next week. Tonight, depending on when you are getting this into your ears and or eyes, tonight is Dana White Contender Series week 4. So hop in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Everyone will be chatting about that. But today we're chatting about Fury FC, the Texas promotion that runs on Sundays, which is a unique thing and good. Yeah, a favorite thing, at least when there's no NFL going on. So we're going to break that down in a second. After I remind you, speaking of football, Free Roll Football Contest is back on SGPN. It's free to enter, and you're picking every NFL game against the spread. $3,000 to first place, $4,000 if you're a Patreon subscriber. So go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/free roll to enter the contest. Plus, we still have 25% off everything in the merch store. That would be sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store with promo code football. Make sure you check out all MMA Gambling Podcast merch. We have lots of cool merch in there. And finally, if that's not enough, we've also got our own NFL Survivor contest going on right now. Or I guess when the season starts in a couple of days. $100 entry fee, winner take all. So go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. All right. With all that out of the way, Fury FC 109, it still says in Tapology, Graves versus Calderon, but it's really Graves versus Silva, right? Well, what is going on with this main event that we can't get a straight answer on?
So I had a really hard time figuring it out because on the website, it said Silva. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Because on Tapology, it still says Calderon. Then when I went to go click it, when you go to buy tickets for Fury, you choose a fighter who you would like to support. Calderon was still in there and Silva wasn't. So I was trying to figure out if Silva was the replacement or Calderon was the replacement. Couldn't find out which way. Luckily, the manager of Take Silva did post something about him taking a last second fight. So I was like, that must be the one. So looking forward to it. Take Silva is always fun to watch and looking forward to actually knowing who's fighting, which is, kind of an essential for regional promotions.
It helps.
Let people know who's fighting.
It helps. There is no odds yet. We don't even know the fights, I guess, technically yet. But yeah, there's no odds yet. But Fury is pretty available.
Yeah. At least the offshores are good for Fury every time.
Right.
Like all the usual suspects. And then so once in a while it creeps onto some of the bigger cards or on the bigger books. It usually only does that when it's like a slow UFC week. And it being UFC Paris, maybe it will sneak onto some of those larger books because Paris is early in the day and this is coming Sunday. So it might give them time to reboot or something.
Yep. So Sunday, Houston, Texas, 5:30 p.m. start time Eastern. UFC Fight Pass, which makes it convenient. Prelims, YouTube, even more convenient. If you want to go, Imogen Venues, which is a place that they run at often, is where it's taking place. 21 fights, Gumby. So if you go, you're going to get your money's worth for sure.
They always
a lot of amateur fights. Yeah, they load them up with a lot of amateurs at the bottom. But still, I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only like 4 amateurs, so we got like 17 pro fights. So a big feeder league at the very least for Contender Series, and then some of those guys actually do make it to the big show as well. So we're not doing all 21 fights. I know some of you would like it, but you can tune into the channel that does cover all 21 Fury fights. Good luck on that one, right? We're going to start off with a main card fight. Women's bantamweight. Katharina Lehner. She's from Germany. Maya Stewart from the United States of America. And let's break her down. As I said, no odds, so we won't be doing any of that stuff. But Gumby can give his best guesstimate. I'll tell you about Stewart first. 4-2, 2 knockouts, 1 submission. She's been submitted once. She's 2-0 in Fury. She's won 4 straight fights, 2 straight via finish. So she basically lost her first 2 fights to begin her career and then has been rolling since. She's done 2 straight via finish, like I said. He's not lost since May 2023. Used to fight up at featherweight. She's 4 years younger than Lerner, inch taller, 4 inches reach. Lerner is the German Gypsy, 9-6 with 1 knockout. She's been knocked out once, submitted 3 times. This is her debut in Fury. She's kind of doing it in reverse. Do the big promotions and then move on down. Win-loss over her last 4, 2-6 over her last 8. Got subbed in her last bout. She went 2-4 in Invicta, 0-1 in Bellator or IP, 0-1 in LFA, 0-1 in the Ultimate Fighter. However, she has multiple regional championships on her
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirts, get our merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Remember, football at checkout, 25% off if you enter that. Used to fight at featherweight as well. 2014 pro MMA debut. 1-0 in pro boxing, 0-1 in slap fighting.
She got DQ'd.
DQ'd, yep. 0-1 in bare knuckle boxing. This is one of the longest resumes that you're going to hear on a regional promotion. And that is all I got for her.
I know about the DQ on slap fighting because remember, I think she hit Jackie Cataline with her wrist or something like that. And it was why Jackie Cataline couldn't fight Jamie Edendon. She was still hurt from it and concussed from it. Katharina Lerner has got an insane resume because I mean, like you just read it all, right? And it's nuts. But then like you start saying some of the names she's fought to, and it's like even crazier. Like she fought Penny Kianzad and Sarah Kaufman and Olga Rubin and Shanna Young, and like she hasn't been in the UFC, and she's fought like 5 or 6 women who have been in the UFC. I mean, it's crazy. And her record will like scare people away all the time, but like she did just beat Shanna Young. Like it was not that long ago that she took the decision from Shanna Young. I think it's hard for me to tell. I'm going to say pick 'em on this one, right? Maya Stewart, 4-fight winning streak. Certainly looked better as of late in terms of results. But that resume from Lerner just makes me think that the books are going to put respect on her name at some point in time. And I'm going to go Katharina Lerner. Like I went back and I watched that fight with Olga Rubin. I went back and I watched the fight with Shanna Young. It's like she's not going to knock you out. She's not going to be, she's not going to overwhelm you with anything. But she does just like fundamentally put together excellent boxing with a really smart jab and keeps herself out of trouble. And that's why she's been competitive with pretty much everybody she's ever fought. You know what I mean? She's like been right there in those fights and eventually might have fallen apart here or there against somebody really good or, a future champ or something like that. But like at the same time, like she just does the right thing. And then when you watch Maya Stewart, yeah, she's on a winning streak, but like under the same token, let's look at that resume. Let's break that resume down. And it is a whole lot of nothing in those last 4 fights. No disrespect to the women she fought, but like maybe the best one she fought was Becca Evans. Evans tagged her hard in like the first 30 seconds of that fight. And then Evans just kind of got a little too overzealous, shot a takedown because that's what you do when you hurt people, right? You shoot takedowns. And then got herself ninja choked like a minute into the fight. But like, Stewart is the one who got tagged in that. And largely she's getting tagged because she throws these big, wide arm punches and like, is basically the opposite of Lerner. She's willing to put herself at risk. and like doesn't do it with fundamentals. Whereas like Lerner's like, I'm going to keep things simple. I'm going to keep things sharp. I'm going to throw this jab 300 times and bloody you up a little bit, make your nose bleed. So I think Katharina Lerner probably just keeps herself out of trouble in this and lands 400 jabs and wins this one. So give me Katharina Lerner. And again, I have no idea what they're going to do with these odds.
You may be happy with the line. It's only 9% of Tapology people are in on Lerner. So
really?
Yeah.
I mean, her resume is crazy.
Sure is, yeah.
Man, she's looked good for, I mean, not good, but like she's for regional good level. I mean, she's looked better than a regional level fighter pretty much since she started.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I have to see. If she's got anything left in the tank. So hopefully a big dog we're getting in on to start things off. We're going to the men's side. We're going to do flyweight. We got Antonio Figueiredo versus Jacobo Martos. They are both from the United States of America. Martos is 4-1 with 4 knockouts. He's been submitted once. He owes his rounds for sure. This is his debut in the Fury. He's won 4 straight fights. He is a regional champ. Figueiredo, Foshow is the nickname. All one word. Foshow. 4-0 is with 3 knockouts. All those fights taking place in Fury. He's 4 years younger than Martos, an inch taller. He's got an inch reach advantage.
Did you know Foshow also doesn't go by Antonio most of the time? Like if you're looking for his fights, no, if you're looking for his fights and you're looking for him on YouTube, you won't find any fights by Antonio Figueiredo. You will find plenty by Tonio Figueiredo.
Tonio.
Tonio. Not Tony. Not Antonio, Tonio. And I love that. It's great. It's unique. I love Foshow. He's also a War Training Center guy, which is one of the gyms. He's actually run by Stephen Wright, the guy who previously was the striking coach for Team Takedown way back in the Johnny Hendricks days, broke off and made his own gym. And it is like a high level striking gym down there. So like he's training with the War guys. He has got the weirdest amount of power for a 125 pounder. Like he's like one of those 125 pounders who will just barely clip somebody and they will drop like a sack of hammers. Like Tonio is probably one of the more fun prospects we have on this card. Like if he goes to 5-0, maybe a year from now, you see him sniffing around the Contender Series. Like that's the right kind of guy here. Really fun on the feet, super athletic, really quick jab, nice counter right. Like, I mean, just like very, very, very fun on the feet. And he's athletic too, which is the other thing. Like, I think that's going to bail him out of a lot of wrestling situations because I mean, like after he knocked his last guy out, he did like one of those crazy flip spins that fighters do with like out jumping off the cage or anything like that. And I'm like, how did you still have the energy for that? But good for you. Whereas, you know, and I don't want to detract here from Jacobo Martos, but like when I was watching Martos fight, he comes out pretty much already shelled up, which is not a good sign, right? Like that means he's not ready to strike or he's not ready to really put it on somebody. He's really worried about what's coming back and probably is looking to clinch. And then when he does throw, like the range sense is just not there for me. Like it seems like he's missing the mark by quite a bit. And I think it's just because he would rather be grappling the whole time. And I haven't really seen much of him grappling. He actually won his last fight by knockout. But like it was just by the other guy being a little sloppier than him. I think he's way sloppier than Figueiredo. I think he's way slower than Figueiredo. And I think Tonio is going to light him up. So give me Tonio. My guess, I don't think I said odds yet, but if any bookmakers get eyes on this guy striking, I think he's going to be in the like negative 400s here.
Okay, too bad. But hopefully we get a big dog to start things off. All right, we're going to get you more winning plays after I tell you about MyBookie.ag. We are brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. They have easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. And of course, check out all the MMA lines there as well. Of course, they have MMA. Head to MyBookie.ag, promo code MMA SGPN for 100% the bet back bonus of up to $500 for new customers. That is MyBookie.ag, promo code MMA SGPN. And of course, Rhythm, RITHMM. NFL is back on Rhythm. Last season, Rhythm was 76-66 against the spread and 22-19 on over-unders. They really shined on player props, like 10-5 in Baker Mayfield props, which is a 25% return on investment. Rhythm also has MLB, WNBA, golf, and college football. And Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Gumby, NFL Week 1 plays. This may be the last time I ask you. I guess. Thank
God we're done in this, and we're going to hit Week 2 next time because we've been scraping the bottom of the barrel. I'm going to say the higher than on CeeDee Lamb's receiving yards this Thursday. I first of all love the Cowboys, but second of all, recognize that without our defense intact, and I'm not just talking about Micah Parsons, but all the other hurt pieces of our defense, they're going to be trailing the whole game. They're going to have to throw the whole game, and it's going to be the Dak and CD show on that side of the ball. So give me the higher than on CeeDee Lamb's receiving yards.
All right, check out if Rhythm agrees. You can get a 7-day free trial and check it all out at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RATHMM. All right, we got international flavor in the next fight. It's at 170. Richard Mayol, he is from Cuba. Irakli Kuchukhidze. Italian. No,
say it with an Italian accent. Georgia. You got it.
Exactly. Kuchukhidze. So he's from Georgia. Mayol is from Cuba. We'll tell you about Kuchukhidze first. Ika, you can call him. 4-2, 3 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. He owes his rounds. 0-1 in Fury. He has lost 2 straight fights. He got TK out in his last one. He's not won a fight since April 2022. Used to fight at 185. Mayol is 5-1, 2 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He definitely owes his rounds here. 1-1 in Fury. TKO loss in his last bout. He's a regional champ. He's a year younger than Kuchukhidze.
I think Mayol's the favorite here. My guess is like the -200 range, like a +185 return on Kuchukhidze. Probably just record-based more than anything. I'm sure if you check the Tapology there on Mayol, he was 5-0. He was a fun prospect, and he just got knocked out by Israelov, who we've talked about a lot of times on this show too. So, that's like a, not a bad loss to be coming off. And he beat Dallas Dodd before that. So I think there'll be plenty of hype. Kuchukhidze is 4-2. So, obviously they're going to be less in on that. And he's coming off back-to-back losses. So I think you're going to see him come in here as like a 2-1 underdog. And I'm going to hit the underdog here. I'm going to take Kuchukhidze. And it's no shame on Mayol. But basically my issue here with Mayol is like in the past, he's shown some pretty good submission skills, but maybe not the best wrestler in the grand scheme of things. So like, he's been able to counter other people's grappling with a guillotine here, things like that. And in his last couple of fights, he just ready to put his foot on the gas and hit you as hard as he can. It's resulted in a 30-second knockout and a 47-second knockout loss, which is like, you want to go out on your shield like that by all means. Kuchukhidze, though, on the other hand, I know he lost by TKO in his last fight. Did you happen to see who it was to?
No, I can't remember.
It's Basinger Sursurkaev. And so, like, he's the guy who lost to the guy who we were all talking about 2 weeks ago, right? Or 3 weeks ago. And so, like, if you go back and you watch that fight too, Kuchukhidze gets in on takedowns. He's in on the legs of Basinger. And not only is he in on the legs of him, like he rips him to the ground and gets him down. And now I will caveat that by saying Sursurkaev does counter him in almost all of those positions and a lot of times winds up on top. But like the entry in on the takedowns, the ability to get to the legs, I mean, he like takes his back and gets a body lock. Like all of the things I saw grappling wise out of Kuchukhidze in that fight were nasty. And the only reason he like couldn't keep it up is it's exhausting to grapple a guy who's constantly countering what you're doing. I don't think Mayol has the ability to. And in fact, I think his success in the past with submissions is actually going to lead him to like being okay on his back, jumping to a guillotine or things like that. I think he's going to find himself on the bottom the whole time here. So with all of that being said, I like Kuchukhidze to be able to just sort of out-grapple him and outwork him here as what will probably be a nice size underdog.
All right. Very nice. We're going to, I think it's 10% actually rain on him. I looked it up for you. So there you go. All right. We're going to the co-main event. It's a lightweight belt. Nikolay Kiosse from Russia. Abdulaziz Datsilaev. He is from the United States of America, even though he has an EV at the end of his name. We'll talk about him first.
Datsilaev. He was born in Dagestan.
Okay.
Dagestan, to be clear.
Make sure you get it right, or someone will yell at us.
I got the wrong one last time. It is Dagestan.
Okay, Dagestan. Dagestan is the winner. All right. Imagine a fighter coming from there. Amazing. He's unbroken. That's his nickname, Datsilaev. 5-0, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. He owes rounds, sir. 1-0 in Fury. He's won 2 straight via finish. He's a regional champ. Used to fight at 170 and 185. 0-1 is a pro grappler. 2 years younger than Kiosse. Or is it Kiosse? Kiosse, we'll say. 2 inches taller. Kiosse 9-3-1, 2 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. This is his debut in Fury. He's won 2 straight and gone 7-1-1 over his last 9. His past 2 wins have both come via finish. He's a regional champ. He's fed at 145. He's got an inch of reach over Datsilaev.
So I think Datsilaev will be the favorite. I don't know how large though, because like on one hand he is 5-0. He's fighting a 9-3 guy, so obviously that 9-3 looks a touch worse than the 5-0. However, I kind of am wondering if Datsilaev's mic work in his last fight is going to get him further hyped. He wore a shirt that said, "Hey Dana White and Sean Shelby, please sign me. I'm the next lightweight champion, #1 pound for pound." And he wore that to his post-fight interview, which, you know, I guess good for planning. But like, I don't know. He got a fair amount of headlines after that, which I think is, probably what he was looking for. With that being said, I'm not sure if that's going to pull the number up or not. I'm not sure if people are hyped on the 5-0 versus the 9-3. You know, like those records are different, but like comparable. I'm going to take Kiosse here though. If I was lining this fight from skill level, I mean, I'd make it a pick 'em. Obviously the record and the hype on Datsilaev might not make it that, but like on one hand, Datsilaev has gotten wrestling going in every single one of the fights that he's had so far. But if you watch his entries, they like really leave a lot to be desired. And I'm particularly thinking about 2 fights ago. 2 fights ago, he fought another 6-5 journeyman, which is, unfortunately what he's mostly fought. And in that fight, he shoots the takedown and he's not even close to getting the hips. There's an easy underhook, gets dug on the left side. His opponent actually winds up with a body lock on him for a second. And, he's resilient, so he pushes through that. And, he is a good grappler, so he doesn't, stick with that issue for the whole time. And then he winds up getting him down for an arm triangle. But like, you can even see in the takedown he gets in the fight after that, which is the most recent one where he gets the TKO. And it's, again, just like, you can see there are holes in his takedown game where he is not getting in on the takedown as well as he could. And then on the other hand, Kiosse has got decent takedown defense. He is a Russian guy himself. So obviously he's got like a little bit of that background, but this is a kickboxer. And if he can stuff a couple of takedowns here, maybe just one, I think he is going to murder Datsilaev on the feet. Datsilaev is like another one of those fighters where I'm like, I don't really even know how good his hands are because he doesn't give us any time to look at him. Whereas like Kiosse has like a very, very nice check right hook. He throws some nice flicking kicks that are real sharp. And like, there's a lot of things I like out of Kiosse on the feet. And he's just like, he's so light on his feet, which I think will make it harder for Datsilaev to close the distance. And like, in addition to that too, he's just like much, much faster than Datsilaev. So I see Datsilaev having issues with the takedown here. I say Kiosse punishing him for it. And again, I think this is a nice underdog play.
All right. Let's hope. Did I check? Yeah. No, I didn't check. Let me see. 93% for him. And you're taking Kiosse. Is that correct? Correct.
Yes.
What was the number you're hoping for? Kiosse?
I don't think I mentioned it out the top, but I do think... I think, again, I think skill-wise, they're probably, look like even when you say one's a good grappler and one's a good striker. But on the other hand, like with the hype behind Datsilaev, maybe plus 140 on Kiosse.
All right, plus 1. Let's get it higher. Let's get it higher than that. And yeah, we'll take a dog nonetheless. All right, before we get to the main event and lightning round, a couple more things to tell you about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long. Summer's almost over. So you can still get in though. Giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million for first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play pick'em, where you can always win, regardless of the season. Up to 500 times your entry. Gumby's going to give you probably a head start on that right now with a winning play.
Yeah, we got Wednesday. The Baltimore Orioles, who have been putrid and terrible all season, are playing the San Diego Padres. However, I like the strikeouts for Baltimore starter Cade Povich. He's got 20 strikeouts over his last 3 games. He's looked phenomenal. He's got 100 strikeouts in 91 innings this year. Crazy numbers out of a guy many of you have not heard of. So I'm going to take the higher than on Cade Povich's strikeouts.
All right, take that and listen to this as well. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code MMA SGPN. And new sponsor alert, Novig, Novig. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you're getting some of the best prices in the market. No Big is available in 35 plus states. Download the No Big app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get on the action with No Big, promo code SGPN. All right, main event. It's for a belt, and we think these are the two people fighting for it. The champ's going to be in at the very least, right? Fury FC Featherweight Championship. The champion is Cameron Graves. He's from the United States. He's fighting someone called Matheus Silva. He's from Brazil, correct? Yes,
correct.
He's got a bunch because he has a million different names he goes by. So that's the giveaway right there.
Yeah, if you're trying to find film on him, it's either Matheus Teak Silva or Matheus Silva. He's one of those three guys.
Or Tonio Silva.
No, not Tonio. Tonio's a different name.
So Teak that's his nickname, Teeik. We don't know what it means. I've looked it up. I got nothing from it. Someone hit us up. People are good, but we have a worldwide audience viewing, so someone will know what it means, I'm sure. Maybe even Silva himself. He's 8-3, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. Short notice, a debut in this fight. He is 1-3 over his last 4. Got TKO'd in his last bout. He's not fought since July 2023. He's not won since September 2021. Used fight at flyweight, 2012 pro MMA debut. 1-0 in one. That was not even a number there. 1-3 is the number. 1-3 in pro karate. He's 2 years younger than Graves. Graves is kamikaze. 14-7 with 8 knockouts. He's been knocked out 4 times. 13-6 in Fury. 2-time champion, including right now. He won the belt back in his last bout. He's won 4 straight and 5 of 9. That doesn't sound so good. Hasn't not lost though since December 2022. 1-1 in LFA. Used to fight at 155. So we got a flyweight versus a former flyweight versus a former lightweight here. 2015 pro MMA debut. 0-1 is a pro grappler, 5 inches taller than Teak or Silva or Matheus. All right, over to you.
So I think Graves is going to be the favorite. Not only is he the champ, but Silva in activity, coming in on short notice. I'm going to guess like negative 300 on Graves. I'm gonna pick Graves, but I am just gonna tell you, like, don't back the Brinks truck up just because this guy's late notice. Matheus Silva is a combat karate guy, very explosive striking. That one win in karate combat that you mentioned, 1-3, it was devastating. It was scary, borderline scary with the knockout. Like, he's got crazy power, and like Graves is good on the feet. You know, he's got like a nice set of combinations he uses. It's not terribly diverse, but he throws like a nice 1-2 and follows it up with a leg kick. He does, and here's why I'm pumping the brakes on him a little bit. He does overreach sometimes with his straights. And if you're going to get countered by Teak Silva, like, that's probably the worst place for you to be. With that being said, I do think just Graves just gets to his wrestling early enough here, because while I think he can kind of hang on the feet, I think he'll dominate him on the ground. Graves has got a really nice double leg. He's also somebody who pushes the shoulder as he grabs one of the legs. It's like a really nice way to run your opponent down and push him against the cage. Graves is good at all of that kind of stuff. And when you look at Silva's last loss, Silva is coming off of a ground and pound loss to Chris Mutino, which is down at bantamweight and perhaps maybe a less good opponent than we want to give credit for. Because while, you know, Chris Mutino is maybe a halfway decent striker and can definitely take a beat, and we learned that from him. You know, taking a ground and pound loss from him when you're about to face a wrestler like Graves, like, I don't think there's much hope for you. So yeah, I'm going to take Cameron Graves here. I think the wrestling gets going. If this number is skyrocketed though, I just play with caution when you enter it into a parlay, because Teak Silva does have that scary KO power.
All right. You've been warned, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's give you a recap, but don't you leave yet. I'm going to press him for some more winning players for you. He's got Graves, he being Gumby, Graves, Kiosse, Kuchukhidze, Figueiredo, and Lehner. All right. That's a very, you have a very worldwide, you got what, American, you got a German, you got Georgian, you've got a Russian. Yeah, it's very international with your place. You got no, Figueiredo sounds like he should be Brazilian, but he's American.
No, that's Tonio.
Yes, that's Tonio. All right, lightning rounds. That Ben Boom Pow.
Yeah, so I got 2 for you. I'm going to take for the first one. His name is Fafney. It's Fathy. Fathy. Fathy Elsany. Yeah. And I feel bad. I feel Fathy Elsany. He's a 1-0 prospect. He's a 1-0 prospect out of Egypt. I'm assuming it's an Egyptian name, and I apologize to all of our Egyptian community. But Fathy is 1-0. We actually had him in our lightning round during his first professional fight because he's a guy who I've been hyped on as an amateur. He comes from American Top Team, absolutely brutal, devastating striking, really fun. Probably going to be like a negative 2,000 favorite though, if I had to guess. So like, we'll do what we can with that. And the other one, man, I picked some brutal names this time. My apologies again. Dowlet Karamula is the other one. Dowlet Karamula. This is the guy who I was hyped as a 2-0 prospect. And unfortunately, he ran into like one of my favorite journeymen of all time, Dimas Chapa, who we've talked about countless times on this show. He ran into Dimas Chapa in his last fight and kind of just like got caught. But I really like what I've seen from him. He's a Kazakh fighter who's got like lots of skills in lots of different places. And he's fighting a 2-0 guy, so we might find his line somewhat playable. So once again, and I'm going to use my cheat sheet here, I'm going to use Dowlet Karamula and Fathy Elsani as my 2 lightning round picks.
Amazing. All right. We're all set. If you want to talk more Fury or talk anything with us, hop in the Discord. MMA, preferably. It's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Please and thanks. We're well over 1,600 people now, so thank you for subscribing if you have already. Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer. At Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram. Check out my Substack at moneymma.substack.com. I write about MMA. Imagine that. And I have a free UFC Pick'em contest every week that I run, so you can get in that at moneymma.substack.com. Gumby has another podcast called Top Turtle. Tell the people about it.
Yeah, I've got some guests on this week. And off the top of my head, I can't rightfully remember who they are. So I know one is a lot of interviews recently. Yeah, I've done so many. And I did a bunch. I like stockpiled a bunch a while ago. So now I'm finishing up posting those. So they're a little bit not fresh in my mind. So make sure you tune in to whoever I got on there.
Yeah, it's always good, regardless of who he has in. It is always a good episode. So check that out. And of course, we are at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Remember, football at checkout will get you 25% off. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. And we will be back tomorrow. We're going to get back in the groove, and the next week's going to be really busy. Do I say goodbye this time or you?
I think it's me.
All right.
You got Sunday. So I'm Dana Gumby Vreeland. He's Jeff Foshow Fox. And we will see you tomorrow.